flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit DriveSafeAlabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Nothing beats March Madness. The pure sound of a swish, the rattle of a slam dunk, the fans on their feet for the big moments. And the action just keeps getting better until a national champion is crowned. Hear all the action with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here.
When I think that South Paradise was right. Boys and girls in America, they're such a sad time together. Sucking off each other as a demonstration, making sure they make us straight. Crushing one another with colossal expectations, depending on discipline, sleeping late. She was a really cool kisser and she wasn't all that strict of a Christian. She was a damn good dancer, but she wasn't all that great of a girlfriend. He likes the warm feeling, but he's tired of all the dehydration. Most nights are crystal clear, but tonight it's like he's stuck between stations. On the radio. John Berryman, they took a walk together and they ended up on Washington talking to the river. He said, I surrounded myself with doctors and deep thinkers, the big heads and soft bodies make for lousy lovers. There was that night that we thought that John Berryman could fly, but he didn't, so he died. She said, you're pretty good with words, but words won't save your life, and they didn't, so he died. And he was drunk and exhausted, but he was critically acclaimed and respected. He loved the Golden Gophers, but he hated all the drawn-out winter. He likes the warm feeling, but he's tired of all the dehydration.
Can he hear me?
Most nights are kind of fuzzy, but that last night he had total retention.
Can I hear us?
And his Twin City kisses, they sound like clicks and hisses. We all come down and drown in the Mississippi River.
Everything was great if we hadn't tried to get rid of that beep. We could have just done the show without with the beep.
We drink and we dry up and now we crumble into dust.
Give me a different thing.
We get wet and we corrode and now we're covered up in rust. We drink and we dry up and now we crumble into dust.
It's not
We
that
get wet
every
and we
time.
corrode and now we're covered up in rust.
Not getting
She was a
anything now.
really cool kisser and she wasn't all that strict of a Christian. She was a damn good dancer, but she wasn't all that great of a girlfriend. He likes the warm feeling, but he's tired of all the dehydration. Most nights are crystal clear, but tonight it's like he's stuck between stations. And these Twin City kisses, they sound like clicks and hisses. We all come down and drown.
Hello. I can't hear. Do I? What? I can't hear.
This
No.
is Christian Miller.
I mean, I see that my signal's coming, but I cannot hear the
Friends over
station.
at Spine and Sport Chiropractic. Spine and Sport Chiropractic provides quality chiropractic services for chronic conditions, injuries, sports-related trauma, and more right here in the heart of West Alabama. Come and discover how this
Well, I can't hear anything.
overall health by addressing the original cause.
I was hearing it before, but now, since we turned it off and back on, there's some setting on here that's not right.
Donald and his team at 205-345-8102.
Coming out of here somehow.
Again, that's 205.
Because it's not coming into here either.
8102.
Follow Tide 100.9 on Facebook today to watch our live shows, read the great articles, and interact with Bama fans today.
All right.
I've been working overtime, but I can't get you off my mind. I'd sleep in the pouring rain. When will you come home again? Spinning like a gravitron when I was just a kid. I always thought that things would change.
Check, 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 check. Okay, still can't hear. No, I can't hear anything. I can't hear myself, can't hear the station, can't hear anything. Check, 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 check. Okay, I got it now.
Somewhere on the outskirts of hope, life without you not around. Another kid in a lonely town, and I'm spinning like a gravitron. When I was just a kid, I always thought that things would change, but they never did. Spinning like a
Jeez. Okay, get this cable. Get this cable. All right. Okay. I can't hear the station, but we can go on and somebody can cue me. I barely, just barely. Check. Check one. All right. Okay. It's going to be hard to do. Cannot hear the station. I can hear myself a little bit, but I can't hear the station. Nope. Nope.
with the kid in a lonely town. Lonely town.
This headset's not working. I can barely hear myself. Okay. I cannot hear you, no. Wait, are these headphones on? You have to, what do you do? I don't know this board. The headphones on? See, I see the mics working. I see these two mics working. But there's nothing coming through the headsets. Check. Nope, nothing. We'll just do this. So we can hear each other and have a conversation right here, I guess. I don't know. But there's no way to be able to talk through that echo. Yeah, just cut the sound here. Sound. Hey, Coach Mitchell. We're having all kinds of tech difficulties in case you couldn't tell. Yeah. Can you grab this one? Yeah. To the Hillcrest Huddle. Coach Mitchell, I know you can't hear. If you can pull that one headphone off, we're having some technical difficulties here. So we're having to just make do with what we got. We've already missed a few minutes of the show, but you know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, sounds like our last Friday night.
When it rains, it pours, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Okay, Coach, the very first time in almost 3 years to the date that your team has lost.
Yeah, you know, we talked about that Sunday. I didn't realize that, but I think September the 16th, 2021, the last time that we've come to work after a loss, you know, so it's been a very, very different week. Something I don't like, something I don't enjoy, but, you know, it is what it is, and we're trying to get better with it.
Right. Okay, well, let's talk about that game a little bit. It started out pretty well. Things were looking pretty good. Just had a few things go wrong in that first half. You could have had the lead. Kind of give us a summary of how it went down.
Well, you know, I mean, the touchdown callback was just a backbreaker, you know. I mean, we scored, and, you know, we got a chance to really get off and running, and, you know, huge setback there. And then, you know, we had the 2 long runs down inside the 10. And, you know, normally, man, that's where we really excel, is finishing drives. We just didn't, you know, but that's a 21-point swing, and, you know, we end up with 6 instead of 21, and, you know, who knows if that would happen. We won't ever know, you know, but we just didn't finish things the way that we needed to in the first half.
So, in the second half, it looked like possibly, to me, that maybe their depth kind of took over. Is that right?
I would agree with that, you know. And, they were a physically dominant football team, you know, much bigger, and you know, certainly gave us some issues, and you know, we got quite a few players that are out and not playing, and you know, when you start losing some guys at our level, you know, it's hard to replace those guys with the same quality that what we've got on the field, you know, so. But I've said all week that's a loser's limp. People don't want to hear that, and you know, we've got to find a way to overcome some of those.
So yeah, I know you have the injury situation with several key players, bumps and bruises, some out for an extended period of time. But like you said, it's always the next man up, right? Because if you lose a man, the next guy up is a part of the team, and you have to win as a team. So let's talk about what your plan is. Are you going to make any kind of adjustments in the lineup or anything, or just the next guy up?
No, you know, I mean, we got, I think the program is so deep, and you know, just in the position the kid plays, and you know, people think it's plug in and play. You know, just take this joker and move him over there and plug him in. It just doesn't work that way. You know, so. What it boils down to is you just got to have players that you hope have developed, and that you've coached them up enough that you know they can be efficient for us. And you know, we're just decimated in the defense. You know, offensively we're okay, but still got some bumps and bruises on that side. But defensively is going to be a real struggle for us.
All right. So after losing your first region game, kind of magnifies the importance of this coming region game, doesn't it?
You better believe it. You know, I mean, our goal is to get in the playoffs, and you know, to do that, chance you got to have 4 wins somewhere, somehow. The last thing we want to do is be 0-2 and behind the 8 ball. But the challenges don't get much easier. Vestavia is going to be a really, really high mentality football team.
Well, let's talk about Vestavia a little bit. What can we expect from them?
A gritty, hard-nosed, tough bunch. They are exceptionally multiple defensively, way more than anybody will see all year long. I've compared them to Mountain Brook, a good bit this week. Very, very Mountain Brookish, but probably with better players, better personnel. I love the way they play. I mean, they're gritty, tough dudes. They've got a system they believe in, and they do a really good job with it.
All right, well, Coach, I guess I'm going to cut you a little bit shorter than usual here tonight so we can get all of our guests
those important folks
on air.
For sure.
Right? We got our players of the week coming up. We also have a focus on the Hillcrest running backs and a spotlight on the Hillcrest softball team. It's really kind of the Ted Sweeney show tonight.
That's right. They're all connected to me.
So Coach,
really
thank you so much for joining us, and I know we'll have these guys back and ready Friday night.
We'll do our very best. Thanks,
all right, thanks a lot, Coach. That's Coach Jamie Mitchell. Sorry about the technical difficulties we're having tonight. Hopefully things are good on the radio side. I know we're having some difficulties here, but we'll keep pressing on, just like the team. We're going to take a break, and when we return, we'll bring Coach Ted Sweeney. No, actually, we're going to bring our players of the week to the table. Our players of the week, of course, sponsored by Walk-On Sports Bistro, where we are broadcasting from tonight. Our 3 players of the week are on offense, running back Christian Ritchie, on defense, the linebacker Brooks Folks, and on special teams, the kicker Hudson Hall. So we'll bring those 3 guys to the table, and we'll talk to them. We'll be back right after this. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9 FM. Hey, man. What's up, Hudson?
We're going to have a lot of questions.
Well, I'm probably going to cut it a little bit short tonight, and also, y'all are not going to be able to hear these headsets. We haven't been able to figure out what our technical difficulty is. So, scoot over, man. Scoot over. Sure. Oh, yeah, one of them been hooked up. Which one? I know this one is. Oh. Okay, so we have these 3 hooked up. All right, so what I'm going to do then, you're not going to be able to hear, so you need to take this ear off. I'm going to talk to these 2 guys. Let's see. But I have no idea how to know when we're back.
This what the locker room smell like on game day. My jersey don't stink that bad. My jersey did? I don't know. Well, I smell like the laundry. The freshman did just play in yesterday.
All right, so you don't have it over this here, right?
No, sir.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. When I come to you, let me see your headset real quick. I'm just going to hand this to you, and you can just hold the mic like that. Okay. All right, but you can hear me, right? I'm pretty loud. All right, welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle. Brent Jones here with you, live from Walk-On's Sports Bistro, as we talk all things Hillcrest football. And at the table with me now, I have the 3 MVPs, players of the game, brought to you by Walk-On Sports Bistro, and of course by Award Company of America. As you guys can see your plaques up here that you can take home with you. Our MVPs for the week were running back Christian Ritchie on offense, our defensive player of the week, linebacker Brooks Folks, and our special teams player of the week, kicker Hudson Hall. All right, guys, due to these technical issues we're having, this is going to be a little bit different, but hey, we'll muddle through. All right, this question for both of you. since you are both leaders on the offense or the defensive side of the ball, what does the team need to do in response to that first loss of the season in a region loss? How do you bounce back?
You got it. Yeah. I feel like we just got to take it one day at a time and just cut the mistakes down to like the minimum. So when we get to Friday, we'll be mentally focused. We'll be physically ready for what their Savior's going to bring to us, because they're going to be a good opponent. But I feel like we prepare the right way we're supposed to, take it day by day.
And Brooks, let me ask you this: How was the reaction of the team following that loss? Because it's been a long time since this team has lost, almost 3 years to the day in the regular season.
I think it was a better reaction than most teams in our shoes would react. I think that we came back hungrier, and part of me hates to lose, but part of me I'm kind of glad that we lost. We need that hunger back. We need to get back.
So you're looking at it kind of like a wake-up call.
Like a wake-up call, yes, sir.
How have practices been so far this week?
Good. These past 2 days have been good. Just playing hard, playing physical. We need to show everybody that we can play up to the 7A standard and that we're going to come back hungry this week.
Well, it certainly wasn't due to lack of effort on you guys' part. Brooks, I was really impressed with you because your running mate at linebacker, Zay Hall, went down in the first quarter, and then the pressure was on you to come through and lead the defense.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the pressure you felt in that moment.
I mean, it's really just, you can't really just think about the pressure that's on you to step up. I mean, like Coach said, the first week when linebackers talk, like I'm the mouthpiece, so usually I got that pressure on me to get everybody lined up. So I just play hard, play fast, and read my keys, just do what I'm told.
Sounds good. And Christian, you came through for the offense, a couple of really big runs, fought hard all night. I got to ask you, though, and I know everybody's been asking you about this, what was that feeling like when you saw that goal line in front of you and then all of a sudden your face was on the ground at the 4 or 5?
It was devastating, but I was just really happy I was able to help our team get down, because we all needed to contribute to. That's every game. We just all got to contribute to help towards the win. So I was just really, really thankful I even got the runs, thanks to our O-line.
So how do you feel about the offense's progress? I know you didn't put the points on the board this past Friday, but still moved it up and down the field pretty well. How do you feel the offense is doing this year?
I feel like we're growing as a team and getting better day by day. And I feel like we got little things to work on, but once we continue drawing those together, we'll be good.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. All right, I want to move over here to Hudson now. If you can hand me that headset there. Having to improvise with our technical difficulties here. Hudson, so you're the special teams player of the game because you scored all the points for the team this past Friday night. Talk about how you feel like you have progressed since last year.
I mean, not too far, but I mean, I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. Because, well, it ain't that much for me.
Okay. You seem like a pretty mild-mannered guy. Do you feel a lot of pressure in a game like that?
Not too much, no.
So what's going through your mind as the team is moving down the field and you know that there's a possibility that you'll be called on to kick the field goal?
Just get ready and don't mess it up.
So you see, I'm not getting much of an answer from you because of the fact I think that you're so mild-mannered and just take it as everyday business. Is that the way you approach it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Have you always dreamed of being a kicker?
No.
When did you decide you were going to be a kicker?
When they asked me to.
So you were just playing on the soccer team, right?
Yes, sir.
And they said, hey, he looks like he can kick the ball pretty well. Tell me the story of how it happened.
He drags me aside in PE and goes, hey, we got 2 seniors graduating, coming out to spring practice. And I was just like, all right.
Okay, well, you're doing a great job, Hudson, and we appreciate you. Guys, thanks for all you do. Looking forward to this Friday night getting back on track against the Vestavia Rebels. That's our defensive player of the game, Brooks Folks, offensive player of the game, Christian Ritchie, running back, and our kicker, special teams player of the game, Hudson Hall. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we return, we're going to come back and, I don't know, you may be staying here, right? Are you doing the running backs with us? Okay, Coach Sweeney is coming up, and we're doing a position spotlight with the running backs. So we'll be back with that right after this. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9 FM.
He didn't give it to the guy. Freshman.
Start out with this. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties. So you're not going to be able to hear through the headset. So I would suggest just holding it like a handheld mic and just listening to me like that, right? And that one is working, so you two guys can share that one, right? Like this.
It is not.
I can hear a little bit in these headsets.
Not this one.
I don't know why.
But theirs, y'all's can.
This device, no, they can't.
Oh, they can't either. Oh,
This device just went bonkers on us for some reason. It started beeping, so we tried to reset it, and that stopped the beeping, but it prevented everything else from working. Nothing is set up differently. It's just like, I don't feel like working right now.
Just saying it's good. Always something to say.
You got a list of questions yet? Flying off.
I've got my questions. Hey man, you got a groin injury? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
How's it doing?
It's better.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
They don't have a groin injury.
Well, we're back. We're back. Hillcrest Huddle. Welcome back. Ray Jones here with you live from Walk On Sports Bistro. And we're ready to talk to these guys who are the heart of the offense, really. The running backs. We have the running backs coach, Ted Sweeney, and we have our two main running backs. Of course, still left over from the last segment, Christian Ritchie, and Jacoby Harris joins him on the table as well. Coach Sweeney, your guys, if you look at your guys as a position group, I'd say they're having a fantastic season, aren't they?
Yeah, we're off to a good start. But, you know, all of it goes hand in hand. You know, for these guys to get the numbers they're getting, obviously, offensive line's got to do their part. Bryson does his part. You know, it's always a team effort first. But for a couple of young guys like this to start off like they have, we're very excited about it, but we got a long ways to go also.
Yeah, talking about young, one's a freshman, one's a sophomore, and they're playing like juniors and seniors for sure. Can you tell me just the things from your perspective that your group needs to improve on?
Number one is just physicality. We talk about it every day on Mondays. We got to get better at blocking. You know, that's one thing I've challenged them to do. Their heart's there, their effort's there. It's just, you know, technique and just making that decision to do that. But, you know, they've got to be consistent with it. But overall, like I said, it's not an effort thing. You know, they're definitely willing to do it. We just got to keep getting better at it.
Does it concern you at all that the offense has been pretty much dependent on the running game so far?
No. One thing that Coach Mitchell, Coach Guy, and all of them do is just we're going to take what's there. We're just going to line up and whatever we think is going to be best for us. You know, one week it may be run heavy, sometimes it may be pass heavy, and that's fine. We're just going to try to find the best thing that works for us to be successful on Friday nights.
Okay, Coach Sweeney, thank you very much. I'm going to move over to the players now. Guys, if y'all can just kind of share that as like a handheld mic, that'll work really well. Okay, so running game has been great. I mean, I would say you guys have dominated the offense. Can you tell me what makes this particular group of running backs special?
Honestly.
Wait, we'll put the mic up there for you.
Honestly, it comes down to once the O-line gets the hole open, but they do a good job of that. It's just seeing it and going.
I asked this guy last week this same question, but I want to ask you, try to put that a little bit closer to your mouth if you can, just like you would a regular. You can do it like that. Okay, that'll work. But you got to pass it to him in just a second. When did you realize, hey, I want to be a football player, and more specifically, hey, I feel like I could be a good running back?
I really been playing football since I was like 4. I never thought about being a good running back. I just kind of played it, but.
And that just kind of fell in place for you to be a running back, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and talk about your dad being a coach. What kind of influence has that been on through the years?
It's fun. It makes me better because he's hard on me sometimes, a lot of times, but.
But he's taught you. You've been around it all your life,
yes, sir.
Right? So, what position did your dad play in high school?
Running back and linebacker.
Oh, so he was also a running back. Okay, so you got the coaching from a guy who's done it in the past too. All right, I'm going to ask you now, Jacoby. What do you think, or I'll say, what grade would you give your position so far this year as a group?
There's definitely a lot of room to grow, but maybe like a C.
A C?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where's the weakness?
Like Coach Sweeney said, blocking and like physical.
Okay. Leads me to the next question since we're talking about Coach Sweeney. Tell me what you've learned from Coach Sweeney in your freshman season here at Hillcrest.
I've learned a lot. Not just how to be like a better running back, just like a better person in general.
Okay. Okay. And let's move specifically to this game. Our Hoover game is history, right?
Yes.
All the goals are still out there in front of you. Vestavia is coming into Roy Johnson Stadium Friday night. What do you know about Vestavia and their defense?
They're not as big as Hoover, but they're still really physical. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate all that you
absolutely.
do. Coach Sweeney, you know, I've been saying this is the Coach Sweeney show because we're done here with your position group of the linebackers. As soon as we come back from this break, you need to stay right here. I guess you just need to go up and get your girls because Coach Ted Sweeney is also the softball coach, the head softball coach at Hillcrest, and we're going to do a little focus on the Hillcrest softball program and talk about it and all the great things that they're doing with the softball program. So we will take a break, and when we return, we'll take a look at the softball team, Coach Ted Sweeney. And who have you got with you today?
Marty McCluskey and Addison Nussbaum.
All right, sounds great. We'll bring those girls up to the table, talk to them. Do that right after this. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9 FM.
Good job, boys. Good job.
Great job, guys. Yeah.
Oh, it's tough. He's grilling tonight. Y'all better be ready.
Man, I'm distracted tonight.
This is so tough, man.
Hey, girls. How are you?
I think it's time for a new timeline.
A what?
I think it's time for a new timeline.
I mean, it was fine. It started beeping, you know, and you were looking for the hard reset, which usually works. Tell them to take a long break. Hard reset, which usually works. And then we came back and there was nothing. It's sending the signal to the radio station, but I can't hear the signal from the station.
Oh, did he? Oh.
He's the one who brought it up.
I told him, I said, hey, Vestavia's listening to us now. Don't say anything. That's funny. He was hurting Friday night.
And that's why we're running this much, right? Because it was like every time he got the ball, it was like 19 yards. But now I understand.
Yeah, so we're hoping. Hopefully he comes back pretty soon.
You think he's going to be ready?
He's going to play. He's going to play. Javion will not be playing. Hopefully he'll be back in next week.
Who else you got? Christian and
yeah, no doubt.
1 minute. Okay. All right, girls, I didn't even tell you. So just use this like a handheld mic and just put it real close to your mouth like this and just swap back and forth. Sorry. What's that? Oh.
The charger of my stuff she had ordered.
Did you fix it?
All right, we are back on the Hillcrest Huddle. Brett Jones here with you on Tide 100.9 FM and on YouTube Live. I think I can see us up there, but I don't know if the sound is working on YouTube Live. All kinds of technical difficulties tonight. We had this strange beeping going on. So, and this happened right before we were going on the air. So we decided to reset our equipment. And when we reset the equipment, it came back on, and it was like, nah, I don't feel like working right. So we're having difficulties cause us to get on late, but that's okay. We've at least got the signal going out to the radio station now. I want to remind you of a couple of things before I get to Coach Ted Sweeney, our head softball coach, and a couple of his players. I want to remind you of a couple of things. The Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network brings you every game of Hillcrest football every single Friday night. Win, lose, or draw, right? Wherever we're playing, we're going to go, we're going to be there. We'll be there this Friday night at Roy Johnson Stadium. Now, I encourage you to watch the games on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network, but even more than that, you need to come out to the stadium and support the team. We need your support. We need you to be vocal. The team needs you behind them. So, Patriot Nation, come on out and support the football team and be there on Friday night. YouTube Live and the NFHS Network and Mixlr.com, 3 different places you can catch all of the games on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Okay, so now we're going to, as I said, have a little discussion with our head softball coach and 2 of his players. And Coach Sweeney, would you please introduce the 2 players you have?
Yep, brought 2 of our seniors, Marty McCluskey and Addison Nussbaum.
And what positions do they play?
Well, Marty actually caught mostly last year, but she'll catch and also probably move to shortstop for us, and Addison will play outfield for us.
Okay, good. Last year, you brought it up. Pretty good year. Can you kind of give us a recap and just review what happened last year?
I think we finished up somewhere 35, 36, and 14, I think.
Nice.
We won the area for the 5th year in a row. Regionals, we had a really tough regional, got out of there against Calera, which was huge for us. It made it state. At state, we won the first round against Oxford, and then we ended up falling the next one to Athens, who ended up winning the state on the year. But I couldn't be more proud of the finish that we've had. I think that's 2 years in a row that we've finished in the top 4.
Wow.
Just really having good seasons. Hadn't won the last one yet. That's always a goal, but very, very proud of the program and where we're at.
Sounds kind of like the football team. It's a big shock when you have a loss, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I think a lot of mirroring of where the football program is, just the work ethic and kind of where we at in 6A and everything. I thought it was very, very similar. So, like I said, very proud of them.
As we mentioned, Coach, we're calling this the Coach Ted Sweeney Show tonight because you're on 2 different segments,
right,
as the running backs coach for the football team and as the softball coach for the softball team. Can you talk a minute about what it's like juggling those 2 jobs?
It's a lot of hours. I'm really blessed by a wife that's so supportive in what I do, and a son that I end up spending a lot of time with other people's kids more than my own sometimes, and they're super supportive of that, and that helps. If it's not for that, I'm not able to do this. But I look around and I've got the two young men that were up here for the running back group. Phenomenal young men and good
not
players.
Just great players,
right?
Yeah.
They're good players and good people.
Yeah.
And I got 2 young ladies up here, and our whole senior class, in softball. They're good people, and that's what you want, and it makes it enjoyable and fun to come to work every day, and that's what just keeps me going.
As a teacher as well, just like you, it's just really a special feeling to see these kids come to you when they're in the 9th grade, and then by the time they're seniors, they've grown so much and accomplished so much.
No, that's exactly right. I think the best part of our job, whether in education or in the classroom, in theater, or on the field, is like you just get to watch them grow, and you get to be a small part of that, and that's really what it's all about. What makes our jobs worth it.
All right, before I get to these girls, I want to get your viewpoint on what your expectations are this year for your team.
Same as always. We're going to compete. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to work extremely hard. Nothing changes in my my mind. You know, everybody talks about 7A. You know, from being here so long, there wasn't a 7A back when I first started coaching softball, and there was 6A, and it was all the same teams. And you know, the last year before 7A, we actually finished state runner-up. So you know, our expectations doesn't change. Does that mean we're automatically going to still be there? No, we're going to have to work, but we're ready for the challenge, and we're excited about it.
Can you tell me about some of the individuals that we can be looking for on the team to really show us something this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, these girls right here, obviously, we're expecting a lot out of Marty at the plate and at shortstop, and Addison slaps and plays outfield, and we're going to have to cover a lot of ground out there. You know, I got returning, you know, Jamie Hewley had a great job at the plate last year. You know, defensively, she's got to get better, and she knows that, but we're expecting a lot out of her. Oswald behind the plate. You know, pitching's where, you know, we're going to have a lot of new faces. We have 4 seniors that went on to play college softball pitching. But we're very excited what we have coming back. We got Tyler Welch will be coming back as a senior, and we got some freshmen that are extremely good players, and we're really excited about what we have.
Ted, it just seems to me like you don't rebuild, you just reload.
That's what the hope is. Yeah, I'm not, you know, when you say, you know, rebuild, it almost sounds like time off, or you kind of give it, you know, lowering some expectations. That's one thing we'll never do. We're going to line up and play as hard as we can and do the best we can at everything.
Right. All right, well, I'm going to move on to you girls. Okay, y'all can just swap that back and forth as you feel the motivation to answer the question. Can you tell me what you think the strength of this team is going to be this year?
Well, I think we have very good team chemistry. We love coming down 4 o'clock every day, so it was a highlight of our day. We always just picking each other up, motivating each other to get through the workout, get better every single day.
What is the biggest challenge about playing softball at Hillcrest?
I think it's just the competition. The competition has always been very high competition, and so it just makes us better as a team to be able to come together and have good camaraderie and compete against those great teams.
I'm liking these words that I'm hearing: chemistry, camaraderie, competition, because those are the kinds of things that I know Coach Sweeney wants to instill in you. And I also know that those are the kinds of things that make you successful if you do take those things to heart. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge now playing in 7A. How are you viewing the step up to 7A from a player's perspective?
We're still, you know, going to come down and work hard like we always have. We're always, you know, going to put in the work, and it's just more competition, but we're ready for it. And we're ready to take on any team that we have to.
Okay, let's say that I'm a fan or I'm a student at Hillcrest and I'm like, hey, I want to go see what's going on with the softball team. What can a fan expect showing up to watch at the softball field?
I think they can expect a good game. Honestly, whoever we're playing, we're going to compete very well. And I think it's a good atmosphere at the softball game. I love playing on the softball field. The crowd's great cheering, the music's good, but then you also get to enjoy the game and watch us just have a great time.
Right, it is a great atmosphere. It's a lot of fun being out there. I used to do the PA for y'all. I don't have time in my schedule to do that anymore, but it was always a lot of fun doing that. I want to talk to you girls about your individual journeys as softball players. When did you start playing softball? When did you decide this is what I want to do? Just talk about how it's progressed from there.
I have played softball my whole life. I took a break one summer, but I learned that I was like, ooh, I love playing softball, so I came back, and now I'm going to college to play softball. I can't be more excited about that.
So you already have college lined up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where are you going to play?
I'm going to Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay.
I'm excited.
That's great. That's great. You still got one more season here.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Business to take care of. What about you?
Well, I've played softball my entire life too. It's just always been something. I have a very athletic family. My brother, he plays baseball, so he's always been someone that would help me out with all my needs and everything. So I just come from a very athletic family, so I was always put into it as a kid, and softball's kind of stuck, and I just fell in love with it.
Now, did you try other sports as well?
No, I tried basketball,
Yeah.
but softball always just seemed more important to me, so I just kind of stuck to softball.
Well, everybody has one that they're just really drawn to. Okay, girls, I asked him about you. Now I want to ask you about him. What is he like in a practice for Hillcrest softball?
Well, he is a very hard-working coach. We all love him. He pushes us very hard to be the best that we can be every single day.
You want to add anything to that?
I think he is very big on pushing us on and off the field. So he wants us to be the best people we can be, of course, on the softball field. But off the field, he strives to make sure we're doing the right thing, and he just wants to build our character while we're on the team.
Now, especially when the spring semester rolls around, softball sucks up a lot of your time. I mean, almost every day and every night after school. How do you balance all those hours that you have to put into softball and the hours that are necessary to be a good student in school as well?
I think it comes down to priorities. I think student athlete is very important. So make sure you have your academics first, which can be hard balancing softball, but you just got to make out the time. So if it means something to you, athletics and academics, you got to be able to make sure you make out the time for that.
But how do you get everything done? I mean, because that's a lot on your plate. What does a typical day look like when you have a softball game and let's say you have a major test in an academic course the next day or a huge assignment that's due the next day? How do you line up your schedule? What do you do?
Getting ahead in most classes is a good idea. Just getting extra when you can, and sometimes you got to stay up a little later. Some sleepless nights, and cram in a little bit.
Right.
But we always get it done. We've been doing that for so long. I mean, we're just used to the grind.
Yeah, right.
Can I add on to that?
Go ahead.
I just the way you brought that out, I've always been super impressed with the way they, like our expectations, we practice in every single day. They play tournaments on the weekend. A softball tournament can be, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then they're coming home, going to church or whatever, and then they've got a ton, and most of them are taking advanced classes. And I've always been very impressed with the way that they handled all of that and the way they handle their athletics. So I'm glad you point that out. And their answers are just, that's not coached up. That's truly what they're saying. And that's so makes me proud to hear that. I'm very excited about that.
Here with your chest
it is good to hear that.
I know they make you proud on the field, but they make you proud off the field.
Absolutely.
All right, well, girls, thank you so much for joining us. Coach Sweeney, Thank you. I am so looking forward to the softball season. As always, y'all do such a great job, and I expect you to keep that Hillcrest softball tradition alive. And Coach Sweeney, I think you're in good hands with these
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us. Thanks for what you do for the school, and giving all these athletes a spotlight like this is huge, so we appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Ted. All right, that's Coach Sweeney and the Hillcrest softball team. All right, so we're going to wrap things up here tonight. That's all from the Hillcrest Huddle here live from Walcom Sports Bistro. But I wanted to give you a couple of reminders one more time here before. Thank you, Ted. Good night. Before we go off the air, I would be remiss if I didn't take some time to thank our sponsors who help us produce this show and our broadcast every Friday night. Our feature sponsors are County Commissioner of District 3, Mark Nelson, who provides you with the pregame show. Bama Stuff provides us with our broadcast booth sponsorship. Bama Express brings us the keys to victory. Stephen Fikes, for the 11th consecutive year now, brings you all of our all-state first downs. Dr. Brandy Patterson sponsors our field goals and extra points. Centel Home Design sponsors our Red Zone. Tidwell Paint and Body brings us the timeouts, as they have, I believe, just about every year for our 11 years of broadcasting. Alabama Credit Union, another longtime sponsor, brings us our coin toss. Award Company of America, and this place we're broadcasting from right now, Walk-On's Sports Bistro, bring you the players of the game each week. Stephen Fikes also brings you the All-State Halftime Show. RSV Designs, Robin Spence Vanderford, brings you our scoreboard updates, and Two Gals Salon brings you our stat line. We also have some commercial sponsors each week. Thanks so much to Alabama Credit Union for doing that, and Lee Palace and the Ignite Student Employment Program. Okay, so we know that the Pats lost to the Hoover Bucks this past Friday night, but all the goals that are before this team remain ahead of them. Like Coach Mitchell says, the goal is to get into the playoffs, and the team can do that by winning more region games. And the next opportunity to do that is this coming Friday night. And we need you to come out and support the team at Roy Johnson Stadium. Let's fill those bleachers. Let's be loud. Let's have some fun. Let's send those Vestavia Rebels back to Birmingham with their heads hanging and pick up that first region win for the Pats for the 2024 season. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. Friday night, we'll see you from Roy Johnson Stadium, where the Patriots will take on the Vestavia Rebels, and then we're back next week with all our technical difficulties worked out here from the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9 FM. Thank you to Walk-On's Bistro. Good night, everybody, and go Pats.